Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is Game God Fluent, bringing you episode 21 of Let's Play Loren, the Amazon Princess. I just woke up from a little nap, so bear with me, guys. A little groggy. Hope you're doing well out there in real life land. We have to talk to more party members about KRUL and other stuff, so let's go ahead and continue with Ramis. Door, look off here, or is it just me? I was going to ask you the same thing. She looks troubled. Yeah, she's been acting strange since we left the Amazon place, looking all distant. Saren nodded, but he already knew what was bothering her. Hey, you man. Are you talking to me? Ah, fine, go on, forget it. No, what did you want? I said you can go on. You're not the right person for this. For what? Now I'm interested. I just had a personal problem is all. Dora? No, blast. It's family stuff. Oh, what's the problem? My stinking brother. Weasel's running the family into the ground. Since he's technically my elder, he's the head of it all. But he's got much for a mind, I tell ya. There ain't a coin to our name no more. It's about time I take the family stones away from him. Family stones? What? Ain't you heard of family gems? They're the pride of dwarven houses. The head dwarf maintains a family gem to keep record of our accomplishments. I've never heard of that. How do you keep records on a stone? All kinds of ways. It's like those family crests some people have. Symbols and such. Because of marriage, houses sometimes get a lot of gems. Bastard Cadres has his slimy hands on all of them, and he don't care how he's tarnishing them. Time for me to be head dwarf, don't you say? Alright, let's go talk to your brother. You acquired Ramis' personal quest? Loren? We should be focused on our battle with KRUL. I'm working on it, ma'am. Have you learned all that you can about our enemy yet? Still looking into it. Do you have any ideas? Yes, ask someone else for ideas. Yes, Majesty. Mirth? Is there no way we can solve the problem at Horus without violence? It's unlikely. I was afraid of that. Do you have any ideas? Shouldn't we try to appeal to them first? If they are not all demons, they have something else driving them. There has to be a way to get rid of them. There has to be a way to get them to leave without fighting them all. Ray? That barbarian and that general described. Yes, what about him? I know him, actually. Not simply know of him? Not quite. He was once a sword for hire. The elves often recruit mercenaries to help escort caravans outside of the forest. I take it you were a mercenary too. I remember this barbarian KRUL because he had the most garish scar across his face. He was a one-eyed swordsman, and that fascinated me. He is blind in one eye? Precisely, but that is no disadvantage. He is a complete master in battle. Actually, I fear what the world would be like if he had a full pair. You have a familiar gleam in your eyes. Why are you so interested in him? There is much to admire about him, but what's worth even more admiration is the masterful elf that manages to take him down. Ah, he is another challenge for you. But it is more than him simply being an obstacle to conquer. I have not yet finished my story. I and the other mercenaries were escorting a caravan to Hammerhands, but we were ambushed. The troubling thing about KRUL is that he did not fend off the ambushers. Instead, when it was clear that some carts would be captured, he switched sides completely. What? He set up that ambush? Believe it or not, I don't think so. He fought as many bandits as he did mercenaries that day. I think he just saw an opportunity to take advantage of the situation. If you ask me, that is typical barbaric behavior, but he has no mercy in him. The workers are in the habit of surrendering their goods in exchange for their lives. KRUL took both. Saren was disgusted. A warrior who does not accept someone's surrender is honorless. But he did learn that KRUL would take advantage of a situation if it presented itself. Any more from Ray? Ray sat by the campfire with one of his arms completely bare. He took several red flowers and began crushing them into a bowl next to him. This intrigued Saren as he crept closer to spy what he was doing. The crushed flowers had made a dye, in which Ray dipped his fingers and began drawing a line starting from his wrist and straight up to his shoulder. It looked cosmetic, but he had never seen him do it before. After a few final touches, Ray disposed of the dye and recovered his arm. Saren could not help himself anymore, and he had to ask, "I'm sorry, but what were you just doing?" "As always, we'll need my aim perfectly straight tomorrow." He gestured the act of firing a crossbow, but his explanation had explained nothing. What?" "My arm was twisted today." Saren blinked. "It needs a speedy recovery." The more Ray acted like Saren should have understood him, the more he wished he did. "Oh, that's right. You're a human and know nothing of the great elven culture. That line you drew was an elven thing?" "It is a mark. It has been a part of elven culture since the beginning of time. This symbol that I've drawn is meant to guide the healing spirits to my arm. At least, hopefully, they usually appease me." "I think I understand. You take that red flower, make a dye, and draw on your body where it hurts?" "Ah, yes and no. Marks can be anything. It's a whole other language." "Wow, seems like there's a lot I don't know about elven culture." "Huh, yes, it seems so. You'll definitely get far with Mirth knowing nothing about the world she lives in." That was unacceptable. "Will you teach me?" Ray was hesitant. "I will, but because people like you need to be educated, not because you demanded me to." "All right, fair enough." It's rather... Okay. Mirth? "Saren, may I ask for your aid in something very important?" "Yes, of course. What's wrong?" "Well, it is a matter of the forest. A certain tribe is harvesting more than they should be. It is throwing off the balance of the forest with damage that will take hundreds of years to mend." "What is this tribe doing? Why?" "It is the tribe of Farshade in the eastern trees. They are logging trees beyond their allowance. As for the reason, I hope there is an explanation other than greed. The elders have sent word that they are to stop, but they have not done so. Their local druid should have kept this from happening, so I am worried that something has happened to her." "We will get to the bottom of this." "You're willing to help me. Thank you. I was worried about facing the tribe alone. You have been a good ally in battle, so I asked you first. Please let me know when it is most convenient for you that we travel." Acquired Mirth's personal quest. Okay. Ray Chambera. "No, I don't know anything about that Barbarian or those orcs. You can leave me alone." "You don't even have a suggestion for a plan." "I have a million suggestions, but they're all about you leaving me alone." "Very well, no need to be rude." "Hello, Chambera. Would you be willing to answer some of my questions about you?" Chambera giggled. "About time we got to know each other better. How did you come to be in the swamps?" "You're being serious." "Of course I am." "That's private information." She crossed her arms and looked away. "What do you do all day in the swamps?" "Don't you ever feel lonely?" Chambera's hard look broke at the insinuation. Instead of being angry, the Dark Witch forced a laugh. "You think I'm alone in that hut? Hardly." "Who is so depraved that they seek you out in the unforgiving swamps?" "Depraved? Darling, what I have to offer would make kings bow at my feet. Maybe one day when you're wading through the swamp, you'll understand exactly the kind of power I have over people like you." Not in the mood. Misfit. "Do you know anything about the orcs or the barbarian? Any hints you can give me?" "Kill him. Brutally." "Is that your answer to everything?" "I'm trying to find a way to avoid fighting." "You can't avoid it. He wants to fight and he will get that fight. So when he does fight, kill him. brutally. Saren caught Misfit glaring intensely at Mirth and her brother from across the camp. You're not thinking of hurting them, are you? The dark elf snarled and looked away. They are my enemies. No, they're not. That assassin has spent years trying to kill me. He probably will spend a few more. You won't do that. Your words mean nothing to me. Your Empire lords speak lies to elves as easily as they drink water. I'm not one of them. You are their kin. That's dangerous thinking. Even though I've had no part in the politics of the forest, you'll judge me because of how I was born? Isn't that what you're struggling against? Misfit's mouth pressed into a thin line. It would take more time for Misfit's anger at the world to ebb away. What is it like when you turn into a demon? Why does that matter? I want to understand you. Misfit took in a breath and focused on a point in the distance. There's nothing to learn. I feel only a dark, and then it is all I can hear, see, or taste. I become it. What do you mean by a dark? A hollow, a cold difference. Hollow? What? Explain it to me. I cannot because I am barely there to experience it. I go away, far away. It feels as if I will never come back out. That is the best I can say. Misfit looked away. Alright, I guess we're ready to go. Saren quickly found Loren to tell her everything he had just learned. Together they conspired a plan to draw KRUL away from his horde. She ordered everyone to the outskirts of Horus as soon as possible. The Orc army was their destination. They need only fight enough to get KRUL's attention. As on other occasions, they could retreat and camp, but their enemies would become stronger in the next fight. You have won 0 battles against orcs. You're at 0% of your goal. Attack a big orc group. Let's go ahead and save here. Alright, guess that's how we'll go with. Orc raiders, no healer. Oh, there is a healer. Dang. Fatality 2. He's not under 40% of his health. Let's try to slow them. Down goes the healer already. Bonk. No Mercy 3. Doing very well so far. Hit all enemies with fire damage. Cause burning for 7 turns. They're in trouble. Earth. All enemies. Very, very good. 30% of your goal. Attack big orc group. Same crew. Same idea. Just try to make it a repeat of the last one. I'll have to do this 3 or 4 times.
Watch it.
Die.
Watch it. Watch it.
Trying to keep my eyes open here. Sorry if I'm a little quiet. Fairly straightforward battle. All enemies. Plenty of kills, 3 kills in 1 try. Alrighty. Ring of Fire Resist. Some good XP. 60% of our goal. Attack another big orc group. Same crew. Same idea.
They're all mine.
Harm no more.
Watch it.
Easy enough. Loren does not have enough for her no mercy. Enough will. Or SP, I should say. Attack everybody. As fit. Almost get a kill.
Watch it. Watch it.
Earth.
Everybody, get
Everybody get
down.
down.
Watch it.
Probably do this entire thing without resting once. Wow. Ray, though, is getting rocked. Nice backstab. Oh, there's still one left. I didn't see that. Not anymore.
Try this on for size.
Some gear, 128 gold. 85% of our goal. Let's do it again. Instead of Ray, let's go ahead and get Ramus in there. Oh, that's going to make it tricky because how do we kill the healer so quickly? There's 2 healers this time. That's how we kill one. And they have a revive. Oh no. Let's try to make them burn. He's got that legendary Warhammer thing. Oh, he's paralyzed. Pinning shot.
You're dead.
Defend. Earth, go ahead and tangle him up again. She's running out of MP or SP.
I'm sorry. Try me if you dare.
Cure all. Whatever. Just prolongs the inevitable. Backstab.
Stand aside.
Shattered. Nice crit. There we go. Mirth. Tangle him up. Cure all.
Keep up next time.
Nice hit. Cure all. It's not going to matter much though. Second healer down.
Keep up next time.
Alright. Bunch of gear, braces of wilderness. Not much. 100 level gold. The head of their 100th orc flew from its body and into piles forming around them. The party had cut its way through too many orcs and KRUL was still nowhere to be found. More orcs charged forward. In frustration, Loren simply called out the barbarian's name. KRUL! KRUL! The approaching orcs slowed and then split away to reveal a path. KRUL had heard the call and was responding. A tall, monstrous man showed himself, with a scar over one eye and two massive warhammers in his hands. Dora took a step backwards instinctively. He said nothing for a long moment as his army and Loren's party repositioned themselves defensively. He looked inappropriately amused. You kill many orcs. You will disband your army immediately and face imperial punishment for your crimes. His smile only deepened. Amukiki? The gladiator broke from Loren's ranks and walked intimidatingly up to KRUL. Even though Amukiki was a large man, the other barbarian was much larger. They stared intently at each other, growling with their eyes. And then Amukiki spat at KRUL's feet. The barbarian coursed with hot rage. He quickly whipped his weapons off his shoulder and impaled them into the ground before him. Amukiki did the exact same with his sword. They both proceeded to grunt violently at each other. What in the world are they doing? You are witnessing a primitive ritual of the nomads to arrange duels. Our friend has put KRUL's honor to the test, and like all barbarians, he would not refuse. This will certainly give us an advantage with a one-on-one fight. A one-on-one fight? But that guy is twice the size of ours. You assume that he will rely on his size to win? Let's not be foolish. You can't trust him. Her voice cut through the tension, as if they all had forgotten she existed. Dora had tucked herself in the very back as if not to be seen. Knowing her story, Sarah knew that Dora was completely right for any reservation she had. I agree. Then let's take him down now. Have you seen the size of the teeth on all those orcs? That's one looking right at me now, licking his chops. Loren grumbled. Amukiki returned to the group. The challenge has been accepted. One of us will die at dawn tomorrow. Don't be saying that like you ain't sure you're gonna win. You got us by your side. If he doesn't plan to play by the rules, then neither will we. We'll all make sure the right person goes down tomorrow. No, let me fight him. No tricks. The group was silent for a moment from his request, especially Saren. This was not what he had in mind when he asked Amokiki to challenge KRUL. It was just supposed to be a way to get him alone. You think you can definitely win this duel? That hardly seems fair if he just gets to kill him by himself. What about me? You must let us fight on our own, otherwise we are not men. If you think you can handle him, then we can do this the clean way. Is this wise? I say, I lay faith with the greatest warrior Grimoire has ever seen. I believe you should too. Saren looked over at the gladiator as he stuck out his chest. Seems we must. They left for camp. KRUL kept the orcs at bay so that they could feast on them in the morning. Oh dear. They were awoken by shouting. Dora! Dora! Saren hopped up and quickly found a distraught Ramis. What's wrong? What happened to her? Dora's missing. She's nowhere, I tell ya. By then, the entire group had formed around Ramis and began scanning the horizon as if to catch a glimpse of her. You've checked? You think I haven't checked everywhere? When I say she's missing, you better believe she is. Very well, dwarf. Calm down. We will make sure that she is found. Could she have been kidnapped? No. Ray was hunched against the ground looking for tracks. She just walked away. If she has gone that way, she is heading for the orcs and KRUL. Saren went quiet. It could not be coincidental. We need to save her. Well, why? She's heading right towards danger. Everyone followed Dora's trail, and sure enough, it led right to the orc army in the nearby distance. We'll have to look for her some other time. We have a duel to fight. Saren nodded and unsheathed his sword, hoping Dora was okay for the time being. There was a greater matter at stake. Oh dear. They all found the spot where the two nomads had buried their weapons in the ground, as it was a mark of their dueling location. Ray offered to hide away in a nearby cliff to act as an immediate end to KRUL. If the duel went sour, Saren took him up on this, knowing he had an excellent shot. The orc army once again filled the plains with a few decorated leaders standing next to KRUL, who was waiting impatiently. I am ready. He raised his shield and slammed it with his sword. Loren nodded. Satisfied, he moved to engage KRUL. The orcs and Loren's followers gathered around as both of the duelists stood by their weapons in the center. KRUL was stoic, but Amokiki pulled his sword out of the ground with a challenging glare. KRUL grunted. You act like nomad. You look like nomad. But you not nomad. There was a full-body reaction in Amokiki from the taunt, his face now contorting in bloodlust. You die. With that, KRUL tore his hammers from the ground and rushed towards Amokiki. He managed to deflect the massive strike. All watched as the two demonstrated why their people were called barbarians. Even though KRUL demonstrated greater strength and more brutal tactics, Amokiki somehow managed to hold his own, proving he had rightfully earned the title of Bear in Grimoire. The battle waged for what seemed like hours, but could have been no longer than a minute. In a heated moment, Amokiki used his superior agility to maneuver KRUL to lose his grip on his weapons. It worked, and KRUL's hammers flew from his monstrous hands. He was defenseless. The gladiator raised his sword to take the kill. KRUL roared, causing orcs to break from their ranks to swarm Amokiki. Saren's gasp was stuck in his throat at the sight. Then he looked up at the cliff, hoping Ray's hand was steady. Loren had her weapon drawn and charged into the fray. Alright, here we go. Party limit is 3. Saren, Loren, and Amokiki, that's it. Alright, well, let's go ahead and save. Finish, and here we go. Orc Raider.
You forfeited your right.
Wow, always confused. Battle cry. Nothing. Doesn't have a great weapon. Scared worked on us. Oh dear.
You forfeited your life.
Yep. Down goes Samukiki. Down goes the Orc Raider. Oh, she's paralyzed.
You forfeited your life.
Paralyzed for much more. But Saren's got her back.
Why are there
Boom.
souls everywhere I go?
Topaz. 50 gold. Amukiki tried to defend himself, but there were too many. They could not kill an entire army by themselves. Crossbolts pierced the skies, striking, attacking orcs. But more just sprang up in their place. You call yourself a warrior? You fight like a coward. KRUL grunted loudly and the orcs retreated, but their damage had been done. Amokiki was bleeding from several wounds, but was still standing. I am great warrior, best warrior, orcs know. The entire orc army started to howl menacingly to show their loyalty. The cacophony surrounded them, sending shivers through them, even Loren. They could not fight their way out if they decided to attack. The reality of the position that they had put themselves in was suddenly too clear. But the harmonizing of the orcs was disrupted abruptly by a high-pitched yelp. All of them were silent as one of the orcs in the front lines keeled over. Dora pulled her knife out of the dead orc with a look that none of them had ever seen on her before. It was dark, it was serious, and truly sad. You ain't a warrior. You ain't. Her voice trembled as she stepped out of the orc ranks, shedding what must have been an orc disguise. No more hiding. I ain't gonna hide from you no more. Dora! The dwarf woman held out her short knife and took staggering steps toward him. The orc started hissing at her, but KRUL gave no orders. You are puny. So what? Dora ran forwards and plunged her knife into KRUL's chest. No one breathed a single breath as KRUL looked down at the weapon impaled in him, and then Dora. He took the knife out and tossed it away without blinking an eye. Run! Leave! KRUL scooped up Dora before her legs would let her move. She screeched as he lifted her from the ground. I know you. You smell like Dwarf Village. He grinned, thinking about Dora's hometown. I will not find you then. Unhand her, you flea-bitten lard weasel. Ramus had marched to Dora's rescue, his axe ready. Ramus, no. Dora swiped at its face in distraction, landing only a mild blow. But in the next second, a crossbow bolt whooshed past her and struck KRUL right in the neck. He hollered and dropped Dora. Ramus rushed over and helped her up, and she immediately recovered her knife. The orcs didn't like this turn of events and started screeching and pawing at the party, itching to kill them. Loren was not pleased either. I think we should go ahead and fight KRUL. Loren and Saren ran at KRUL with their weapons ready. The Barbarian had gone too far. Dora attempted to stab KRUL as he tried to get the arrow from his neck, and in the next moment the entire party was on top of him trying to get a piece of him. Alright, boss fight KRUL. Saren, Loren, and Dora. Alright, that should be pretty good. KRUL, level 14. We have to get these healers out of here. I don't think this is going to be easy. They're going after Draco.
I'm sorry.
Slowed KRUL. Killed the healer. Oh boy. We're going to be in some trouble here. Just try to make them tired, I guess. No, slow them. Nice. Ouch. Down goes Ray. Let's restore him. Try to get this healer out of commission. Dang, they're going after Ray too much. Good, the healer goes down. No burning. Headshot 3. Now we gotta tackle KRUL, who's not the easiest.
I'm sorry.
There goes Ray. Draco has 1 HP. Let's go ahead and heal this row. Let's restore Ray. So far, so good.
I'm sorry.
Taking him down. KRUL dies. And so do you. Ruby, a Warhammer, a standard Warhammer, 201 gold, 840 XP. Ray levels up with a point to spend. My mouth is so dry. Let's go ahead and get Cold Blood 3. Character resistance against paralyzed, weakened, and scared. Skill. Will. Defeat KRUL at hard level. Achievement unlocked. Barbarian. The large barbarian hollered in pain and fell to one knee. You cheat. No honor. Silence. Loren unleashed a final blow and KRUL was permanently silenced. After KRUL was dealt with, the various orc leaders split off into separate directions, breaking apart the army. They all scampered away, leaving only the dead strewn about in the field. A great sense of accomplishment flooded the group. Horus was now safe again. I would say we just achieved the impossible, but we have an even more impossible task ahead of us. This feat will pale in comparison. General Samael should be notified immediately. Alright, stop the Barbarian, 1000 XP. Level ups for dang near everybody. But I'm going to go ahead and save this game. I think it's episode 21, right? Or it might be 22. Because we are probably, 41 minutes in. Next time we'll start with a level up. And then we'll report to Samael and see what happens. So I want to thank you guys for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember, level cap is 30, so we have a long way to go. Thank you so much for watching. Truly appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed and are joining me for the LP. Would love to have you guys. So hope you're enjoying the LP. Much love, peace, and joy. Take care. And hopefully see you guys next time with much more to come. So long.